Do you wish you had more classroom sinks? Do you wish you had any classroom sink? That was certainly my issue. When I walked into our classroom for the first time and noticed there was a sink in the corner, I was thrilled, but I was also a little concerned because teaching science with just one sink can be a bit of an issue, depending on the unit that you're teaching, right? So I'm Carolyn Balch, and I'm the author of Engaging Science Labs, and I just wanted to share with you one of my solutions for this problem, pretty common problem. So I had worked in the museum field along with also being a classroom teacher, and I was pretty familiar with portable sinks, the kind that are sold by scientific supply companies, and knew that that was a possibility, but they're also over $1,000. And so I thought, well, that's not going to work. And also, it's a storage issue, right? Because they're huge. They're pretty bulky. They're on wheels. They're lovely. But where am I going to put it in a reasonably small classroom? So I knew that wasn't going to work. Then I thought, well, what about camping? Because we go camping a lot, and thought about that might be a possibility. So I looked into sort of camping sinks and those kinds of issues and came up with a pretty simple solution. And I just wanted to show that to you now. So that's what's going on over here. It's just one of these spigot jugs, and you could use any kind of spigot jug. This is just the kind you get at Walmart or Target. And this is a 2.5 gallon spigot jug. And you can fill it all the way up, part way up, depending what you need. And then a tall kitchen trash can, right? Something to collect the water. And I tried a variety of things. I tried like dish pans and buckets, but this worked the best in terms of keeping the splash to a minimum. And the kids seem to be able to manage it pretty well. So I'm just going to show you. It's pretty loud, so I can't leave it on too long. But you just can wash your hands. Here, I'll wash my hands. And if the kids have, obviously it's great for hand washing, but if the kids have trays like this that they're washing, they can put them in there and wash them off pretty successfully. What are some of the things you're going to want to think through? Well, obviously how many you're going to want, right? So for us, 4 is what I ended up buying. We almost never use all 4. It's just a function of how messy the situation is and how many kids are in that particular class. Where are you going to put them in terms of, I just put them on a desk. So if I have some desks that are unused and I can move those because they're small and portable, I can move them to kind of corners of the classroom to get them out of the way. Because typically with a sink, tends to be a crowd of kids around it. I want to make sure that that's as much out of the way as possible. You need to think through the disposal of the water once you've collected it. And it can, if you've got back-to-back classes, think that through as well, because it can get pretty deep depending on how many kids you have using it. So again, think through, if you have a big class or you've back-to-back, you might actually want more, either more buckets or more stations or something, so that you're not filling this up and it becomes so heavy you have a hard time disposing of it. So that's something you want to think through. You also, again, I teach middle school. You might teach upper elementary or older kids. You might need to shepherd them through how do they manage this. Because even with a regular sink, they will happily throw paper towels and frog dissection or tools or whatever into the disposal. So talk through that with them so that they have a pretty clear idea of the tools go here, the trash goes here, and then we go to the sink and clean up. So to try to treat this as a sink and not a trash disposal. And again, you know, how many classes will this jug last? It kind of depends on how big your classes are and how messy the thing is that you're cleaning up after. Because some of our things are just a quick hand washing, and others are really, really messy, and so it takes a lot more. One of the things I love about these is that a lot of other classes borrow them. They're so portable. They don't take up a whole lot of storage, so obviously the trash cans nest, and then you can put 1 or 2 in a trash can. So 4 of these obviously won't fit in 1, but it doesn't take up a ton of space in the storage facility. but then I loan them out to other classes who need them for art or for other projects that they're doing. So it's fantastic. If you have any questions, you can just leave them in the comments below. Happy to respond to that. And if you're interested, this little hack is part of a classroom organization free course that I wrote, online course, and you can find that at my website. It's EngagingScienceLabs.com. Thanks.